saw that Lamborghini logo, you knew what this playlist was gonna be. Some of the most recognizable car designs in existence at your disposal. Nothing quite like some of these cars. It's like a speed race through the story of Lamborghini, one of power and innovation. Riding the full roster of these legends was a rare privilege. A privilege Motorfest graciously gave me. And now, it's your turn. Like what you saw? Well, those were just the tip of the iceberg. But we've got to go step by step. Follow me. Look around you. This is what it's all about. Cars, bikes, rides, and good vibes. You'll get to explore the festival soon enough. And let's not forget, we're in Hawaii. And there's no better place to express yourself. Show off your flair. Customize your ride. It's a car culture buffet. Keep up. We're going to go meet the star of the show. Your car, of course. Come on. It's time for you to pick your ride. Once you pick your car, I'll hand you over to Kara, your personal AI assistant. When in doubt, you can always rely on her to guide you.
Assistance engaged. All engines, go. Hello, driver. I'm Kara. Let me assist you in choosing a playlist. Made in Japan. Race over asphalt. Hawaii scenic. Made in Japan. Let's complete this playlist. We put this playlist together to give you a taste of Japanese racing culture. action. What is next in line? We're very proud and grateful to present what is probably the most homemade playlist of all. The heart of this one is entirely composed of mountains, jungles, volcanoes, and oceans.
I think if I was invincible and I'd be young forever, I'd probably still be trying to jump further distance records with the bike the way it is. But for me, there's one goal left for me, and that's all I'm working on. So I'm not here to replicate nothing, to do shows around the world. I think those days for me are gone. I just want to do my masterpiece, right? That's all I'm working on is my masterpiece, and then I'm done.
My name's Becky Evans and welcome to Motorfest, the podcast, brought to you by Rebel in the iconic game from Ubisoft, the Crew Motorfest. Now, this is the podcast where I get to chat with some of the world's finest motorsport athletes, and I get to delve into their passions of all things speed, wings, and wheels. And you know what the cool thing is? You can actually listen to this podcast whilst you're playing the game. So jump into your dream vehicle, sit back and relax, and get ready for the show. Let's go. Now that is the sound of the KTM 450 motorbike that you can actually play in the game. Now this bike has got you covered on road, dirt, sand, and even on water, thanks to the very special Motor Surf edition, which has been designed by the athlete that I am joined by today, Robbie Madison. Robbie, thank you so much for having me here at your home.
No worries, Becky. It's an absolute pleasure. Super excited to have my bike in the game, Crew Motorfest.
No, delighted. I mean, you are a freestyle motocross champion, legend, like absolute pioneer of the sport. And to actually see this place after seeing so many videos of it was kind of crazy when we were driving in.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very blessed. It's been an amazing career and I've been able to do incredible things. Red Bull has literally given me wings and it's been amazing, to say the least of it. And
You're in for the Hawaii Scenic Tour. Let's see what's coming up.
The podcast continues.
Amazing, to say the least of it. And this house has became home, and it's the dream that I envisioned. And now we get to ride dirt bikes here. I get to share with my kids, and this is the home base for all these crazy ideas. And then we come back here and refocus, reset, and set off on our ways to take on more adventures.
Now, you started off, in New South Wales in Australia. You were an electrician to begin with, and then you found...
You must have felt it since your arrival. This island is something.
Freestyle.
But before exploring Hawaii, let's celebrate it with a quick tour on the Motorfest grounds.
On motocross. You've done backflips over Tower Bridge in London. You've jumped over... It's the Arc de Triomphe in Las Vegas. I mean, just so many incredible jumps. I remember seeing the video of you doing the ski jump as well. You're a record breaker and a dream chaser. Do you think I've missed anything out there? I mean, there's so many stunts that you've done in your career, but those are the ones that, even as a fan myself, that really jump out.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, there's been a lot, one of the coolest things for me is inventing the motorcycle to ride on the water. Just because I grew up at the beach in Australia, I grew up surfing. If I hadn't been a motorcycle rider, I would have been a surfer. And to be able to combine the two of my two favorite things to do is a dream come true. So it just, one day it just kind of hit me that I could make it right on the water with addition of like some wakeboards under the wheels. And I've seen a lot of people copy it, and it's something that works. And to be able to take it on a wave was just insane. But I'm excited that you get to do it in the game now. The users are going to be able to ride their bikes in Maui and catch waves and feel some of the excitement I felt. So I'm really stoked with Motorfest and the crew. It's awesome that it's done this way.
So Robbie, if you could be a car, a plane, a boat, or a motorbike, which would you be and why?
I would definitely be a plane. I just love flying. It's all I've wanted to do, and I think that's why motorbikes became so cool to me, because it was catching these little moments of being able to fly. And as I've got older, I've jumped further and further and further, and now that I'm a pilot and
The next one is bound to be breathtaking.
able to fly, it's just the coolest thing ever. And yeah, if I had the choice, I'd be a plane, because you can go wherever you want to go.
I saw a quote where you were talking about how your mind is like like Tetris, and you're just trying to put it all together and figure out how to create new crazy stunts. Like, how does one thing become from dream to reality?
I think ultimately it's just figuring out the path and how to get there. You know, for the most part, when I designed the bike to go on the water, the dream was to always ride it on the water. And, you know, I had the dream for a long time, and just one day it clicked. And I think it's been like that with a few things, you know, when I jumped on the building in Las Vegas, I knew I didn't want to just keep doing distance jumps, and I knew I wanted to do something that was a cool spectacle, and it wasn't about just having a jump and putting things in between it, you know, like Fonzie did with the shark tanks and like Evil did with the buses. That was cool, but it had already been done. I wanted to do something different, and that's really all I did. I just set my intention. I kind of put out of the universe that I wanted to find something different, and I just stopped thinking about it. I stopped worrying about it. I just had the thought that if it's meant to be, it'll come to me, and if it's not, then it's not meant for me. Once I just kind of let go in that way and stopped putting pressure on myself to come up with something, and just went about being engaged in the moment of my life, then all of a sudden it just hit me again. I was driving past the hotel, I was on the freeway, and I just saw the hotel passing by, and I just realized with the speed I had and the right ramp, that I could jump on top of that hotel. And then I had the idea, I'm like, with the right ramp, with the right speed, I could jump onto a big building and I could jump off of it. And so that's how it went. I think a lot of the ideas for me, you know, just come through letting go of the stress of trying to figure it out and just going about living my life and enjoying what I love. And then all of a sudden these new ideas come, and I mean, that's led me to my current thing that I'm working on. I have a new idea, and it's just come from me doing what I love. And I've been flying airplanes, I've been wingsuiting, I've been skydiving, and yeah, it's inspired me to go in a different direction again. So it's exciting.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, your next frontier, we're talking aerospace. You want to see your bike take to the skies. Walk me through what that looks like.
Well, it's a little early yet. I mean, that is the goal. I mean, I've been in the skies with my bike since I've been a little kid, and just to try and go further and farther is just the goal. And ultimately, the last time I did a world record jump, I landed so hard that my front wheel exploded, and I ruptured my back, you know, from jumping so far. I ruptured 2 discs in my back. So I know that it needs to be aerodynamic, you know, and I've learned that a long time ago. Just finding the right team and finding, you know, like you said before, it's like Tetris, right? So it's not just about me and the team, it's about all the other elements. So I'm working on that. I'm not exactly sure what it looks like, but I am very hard at work, and I'm hoping to be able to unearth it here shortly. So there'll be more on that to come when things get a little bit more planned. But for now, it's just, you know, in the planes, flying. I just got the new wingsuit, the Freak, so it's the biggest wingsuit that they have. And
I got a question for you guys, and buckle up, Buttercup, because it's a doozy. Freaking lightning, baby! Listen up, you buff forces. I've got 7 questions that you need to answer by getting behind the wheel of some of the most iconic cars the world has ever seen.
Here we go.
Boom! The car world is made up of rivalries and unanswered questions. You need to settle them once and for all. More power, baby! Will it be easy? I don't think so.
That's why I love him. He gives the people what they need to hear.
Lightning, 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 lightning! And in the end, I need you to answer the biggest question of them all. Who rules the streets?
That is the most badass thing I have ever heard of.
More power, baby!
This is Rule the Streets. Rolling! What is next in line?
back to our podcast.
You know, in the planes, flying. I just got the new wingsuit, the Freak. So it's the biggest wingsuit that they have, and I haven't flown it yet, so I'm excited to get out in that thing. And you know, you're literally like a bird. You know, it's from when you skydive. You know, you can kind of, it's different shapes, kind of control how you fall in the sky. And in a wingsuit, you know, obviously you're in the suit, so if one arm is extended out further on a different angle than the other arm, you'll start to turn a certain way. So you really have to be flying this shape of like an aircraft, like a bird, and it's so insane. Because when I was a kid and I ever had like spare change and I'd throw it into the pond or into a fountain, I'd always make a wish. You know, you make a wish in the wishing well, so I'd always wish that I could fly, and it's come true. You know, it really has. I honestly feel like when I jump out of a hot air balloon in a wingsuit, I'm like literally flying, and it's the coolest thing. You have to face your fears to live your dreams, and one of the biggest fears I had was heights, and you know, just the integrity of the parachute. And I didn't mind free falling, but when I pulled the parachute and I had these strings coming off me holding this canopy up, I just didn't have faith in that. But after I did my accelerated free fall course and I learned how to pack a parachute, I kind of understood the technology of it and I got faith in it. And so now I kind of got over a fear. And to me, that's one of the most liberating things in my life is, like, you know, people say they have fears. I think one of the coolest things to do is to face your fears and get past them, understand them and address them and work through it. Because if you just say, I have a fear and I'll never go there, then you're limiting yourself. So if you're humble and bold enough and courageous enough to, you know, address it and be honest with yourself and go through the uncomfortable part of like dealing with it and getting past it, then you open up a whole new meaning of life and new experiences.
I mean, absolutely, just even looking at your track record of things. I mean, when you are planning a new stunt, I feel like you look at it in a way that it's not just the actual outcome of being able to achieve it. You're looking at the physics and the geometry of it and how you actually achieve it in a physical way.
Yeah, I think for everything I've done, like a lot of people say, who designs these things for you? Who does it? And it's like, it's me, you know. So I think you have to have that, you know, and it's not like all me, but that's like me as far as like I'm driving the bus. And I have someone else navigating for me, and the person navigating is usually smarter and more experienced and knows it. But it's ultimately my call on where we go and which turns we make and what it looks like and what the ultimate the decision, the final decisions is usually in my hands.
Of all of the stunts that you've done, I mean, we've got the backflip over Tower Bridge in Las Vegas. We had the Arc de Triomphe. Even the long ski jump. Is there any of them that you particularly think, yeah, that's the one where I really thought I've done an amazing job there?
I think the jump on and off the Arc de Triomphe in Las Vegas was so like rattling for me as a human. And what it ultimately came to was this is what I dreamed about doing my entire life. And if I didn't have the courage to follow through with this, then I'm just never going to know what my life could have been, you know. And so I'd always dreamt of this opportunity to be on a spectacle like Evel Knievel, you know. That's what I really dreamt of as a kid. I wanted to...
Let's do this!
Have an opportunity to do well.
If you need any help, driver, I am right here.
You know, and so
What do you need?
I'd always dreamt of this opportunity to be on a spectacle like Evel Knievel, you know. That's what I really dreamt of as a kid. I wanted to have an opportunity to do world-stopping stunt where the world's watching.
No shame in trying again.
And be able to push through it. And now I had that opportunity. I had to decide whether I was going to let fear stop me, because a lot of the people involved with the production were like, this is so crazy, we can't believe you're doing it. And they would like reassure me, there's no one here from our department that's putting pressure on you. If you don't want to do this.
Want to give this one a try? Honolulu just yet. We'll be joining the donut team at the bottom of the mountain. They need you to conduct a special experiment before settling down in the city. I'm not gonna lie, James wants to start big here. To spoil the surprise, so I'll just give you one clue. The first question involves Italy at its finest.
Ferrari and Lamborghini have been rivals since they were babies. It's true, but don't look it up. Before we set up camp downtown, you'll be racing through the countryside in the Italian supercar of your choice. Either the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta or the Lamborghini Huracan. Which beast owns the mountain? The Italian Stallion or the Stromboli Bully?
The Ferrari. Saddle up, you Italian cowboy.
Hey, James here. I'm talking to you from this drone. Well, I'm not actually in the drone. That would defeat the entire purpose of a drone. That would be a helicopter. It will follow you the whole time and take some awesome shots for our videos. Not in a weird way. Anyway, have fun. Automobili Lamborghini versus Ferrari. Man, I am so pumped. Hey, no pressure, but these cars are like really expensive, so try not to crash and burn, okay? Dang, dude, what a viewpoint. It really makes you think. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned there's gonna be turns. Sorry. feeling about our choice down there? Not having second thoughts, are we? Full Italian power! Give me the gravy, Grandma! And the winner is Ferrari. Was there any doubt?
Now that you've met the donut team, you probably have a better idea of what you're getting into. But trust me, you're still in for a few surprises. From now on, the city's going to be your playground. And your first urban challenge will be a rough and tumble American street brawl. I can't tell you much more right now. We agreed that James will be the one to give you all the details.
All right, tough boys and girls, you think you've got muscle?